Only one person took the stand today in the federal trial against disgraced music mogul Sean Combs, but Jane, not her real name, testifying under a pseudonym, one of his most recent girlfriends, is a star witness for the prosecution. Hello, my fam, it is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. This picture brings me immense joy because it looks like he's rotting from the inside out. You know, when you take a lot of drugs, your teeth get like that. And we know he took a lot of drugs. Before we get to Jane on the witness stand, Judge Subramanian ruled on the defense's motion for a mistrial. Not granted. Again, that was their second mistrial request. Today was all about cross-examination for Jane, who has already provided very relevant information in the prosecution's case against him. He is facing charges of trafficking, racketeering, and, you know. Jane says she didn't understand the terms and conditions of her relationship with Diddy at first. Meaning, she thought she was a girlfriend, but she really ended up being a fancy S-worker. I resent him for leading me to the lifestyle he led me to, Jane testified, adding, quote, "My choices were made under a lot of emotional pressure." Jane testified that when Homeland Security investigation agents arrived at her home last March, she wanted nothing to do with them. She had a choice to speak to them, and she chose to get an attorney paid for by Diddy, she told the court. After his arrest, Jane confirmed that she met with a grand jury after the government granted her immunity. There was a lot of trying to normalize Diddy. For example, after Freakoffs, he enjoyed getting foot rubs and watching his favorite TV show, Dateline. Jane used to call Diddy my baby. His attorney said, "You used to hug him and cuddle him and bathe him," Jane responded. Meanwhile, he called her his crack pipe. In a voice note played to the court, we hear Diddy call Jane, "You are the crack pipe. That's my new name for you. Or shall I call you CP?" In a voice note from Jane to Diddy, she responded, "Crack pipe is so real for both of us. Definitely stay in the light. Have a good celebration for you." Meaning a freak-off was about to happen. Jane reveals that she received about $150,000 from Diddy in 3 years. Not enough, I say. Jane said that she thought the hotel nights were vulnerable moments for Diddy. Quote, "I felt that my partner was trusting me in a very vulnerable moment. He made me believe that this was something really special. This was something only he and I did. And I really took that on very strongly." Girl, he got his freak on with so many other freaks. Jane testified that it was not her choice to take ecstasy during hotel nights. She testified, quote, "I would say that Mr. Combs would offer me the ecstasy and expect me to take it." Jane said that they often talked about God and religion and that he introduced her to gospel music. Quote, "He had a favorite pastor, and he would often put a lot of sermons on the television, and we would watch it together, and we would talk about it. We would have really insightful conversations." Yeah, you were high, and he is the devil incarnate. Jane said, "The only reason why I endured these nights, the freak-offs, was so that at the end, I could just have the love and affection with my partner." Jane told the jury that Diddy used to have a catchphrase he would use during the freak-offs. Funk, but the F-U-C-K word, or die trying. Jane said that she would willingly get back together with Diddy after breaking up numerous times. Jane, an influencer, also had a swimwear line, and she said that Diddy invested $20,000 into her company. Asked if she still loves Diddy, Jane said she does. Jane testified again that Diddy would use paying her rent as a tool to get her to do the freakoffs. Jane told the court that she was aware that Diddy was polyamorous and seeing multiple women, and that at first she didn't mind it, but eventually she grew to not like that. Jane testified that Diddy had a cheating kink. He would often want her to role play with the entertainers that she was cheating on him, pretend he's not there, and act out that scenario. Jane says she thought of Diddy as a C-U-C-K. She said she began researching his sexual preference to better understand him and his obsession with freakoffs, in which it wasn't just her, it was an entertainer and he would watch. Voyeurism and fantasy were the words that he used to describe his proclivities, but Jane thinks he's a C-U-C-K. When asked to define that to the jury, Jane said a C-U-C-K derives pleasure seeing his woman derive pleasure from the other man. C-U-C-Ks could also have a bi-curiosity that they are too ashamed to experience themselves, she continued. So they use the woman to venture out in this curiosity without actually doing the act itself. Jane testified about the symptoms from Diddy's drug and alcohol use. She told the jury at one point, quote, "I felt he was developing jaundice. His gums were gray, probably from drug use. His hands were shaky from over-consuming alcohol." Jane also said Diddy was taking antidepressants. Is he allowed to take that in prison? Probably. He's probably taken a ton of those. Jane testified that she was fine with Diddy recording their hotel nights because he assured her the videos were just for them. His defense attorney, Tenny Garagos, asked Jane if she would put on a good show for him in the videos because she knew he would watch them back. Jane responded that she did. Jane testified a little more today about Paul, Diddy's personal trainer, whom he also paid to be an entertainer. Jane said the chemistry between her and Paul and Diddy was so strong they had a nickname, Trifecta. And yes, Diddy's mom is in court today, like almost every day, hearing all this testimony. Diddy's lawyer asked why he is still paying for Jane's attorney, though she was testifying against him. But Jane paused when his defense lawyer said that before the jury, looking confused and asking, "Against him? Girl, you're not helping." And more of Jane not helping coming up. I will do another video from the rest of her testimony today, but we also found out that there is some drama with a juror, juror number 6. The prosecution wants to have them dismissed. The judge said an unspecified issue had come up for the government. The motion related to the juror in question is sealed, so no further details were mentioned in court. The defense, however, objected to juror number 6 being dismissed. "We'd like the opportunity to be heard," the defense told the judge. So much drama every day in every way. Stay tuned to find out more about juror number 6 and more from Jane. Until this next video coming up in a little bit, let's discuss everything we've learned now in the comment section.